what's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Paris Muthana, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. And today we are talking Giants Cowboys like we do every week. But fortunately, today, only one of us will be happy, and the other one is very, very irritated. And man, James. But without further ado, this is my co-host Caleb. Caleb, how are you, my man?
I'm good, doing good. Happy times, baby.
Mm-hmm. It is happy times. That is, I believe, that's two in a row for Dak Prescott this season. He's back.
Oh yeah.
Um, he's playing very good. And this week you were led. You were. It was a shootout against Chicago, which was weird for me to say. It was a shootout.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it
Um,
shootouts.
it was a high scoring game. It was a shootout until it stopped becoming a
Okay.
shootout. Yeah, it was a shootout. Then it stopped being a shootout real quick because you end up beating them by 20, 49-29. Which you know what?
I would
Actually,
be more. I would categorize it more just letting them back in it for just a little bit, and then kicking them back down.
so let's break it down, Caleb. Take me through that. You guys letting them in, but backing them down. What does that mean? Continue.
Well,
Wait,
obviously,
Caleb, shut up, shut up.
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
how
I
about
want
that?
me some glory hole.
Why you gotta play that one? I don't know why
I
you
love
gotta
that one. You look at it, but you look at it play that one first. Shout to you, Jerry Jones. Continue, Caleb.
But obviously, through pretty much the entire season, our team has been led by the defense. The defense has carried through us through all the wins, even the losses. It's been all the defense. Finally, now that we have Dak back, now that Dak has a game under his belt, now in his second game back, it is led by the offense, just like it was last year. Well, it was more of a balance last year because I mean the defense was getting a lot of takeaways last year, and then the offense was leading it by scoring a lot. We were the highest scoring offense last year, um, and people forget about that. People forget that that was Dak Prescott who did that, and we needed that this year. That we were going to get into a game that our defense wasn't going to be able to handle, and we would need to score points. We would need to score points to win, and that's exactly the game we had here.
Who would have thunk it against
And,
Chicago though?
I mean, they put 33 up against the
It's true.
fucking
They did put
Patriots last
33
week.
against the
So I
Patriots. That's
mean,
true.
it's
That's true.
not too.
That is
I
true.
mean, I would if they didn't do that, I'd be like that. But after they did that to the Patriots, I was like, okay, well,
On Monday
they
Night
got
Football,
something
by the
going
way,
there.
too. On the big stage. On the big stage.
Yeah. So
Continue, Caleb.
Um, but yeah, so the offense put up 49 points, 49-29. That was we beat them by 20. Like I said, not surprised because this is what I expected the offense to be. Everybody talking about all the pieces that left throughout the offseason. No, it's led by Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was going to get us through. He was going to lead this offense, and we were going to score points just like we were last year. I had no quarrels with that. I knew that was going to happen. Um, but he just needed a little time to adjust. That's what he got last week. Um, got that win under his belt, and then he got the belt off of that win with this win. He scored
Mhm.
3 total touchdowns. He threw for 2, ran for 1, 21 and 27 for 250 yards, and he ran 5 times for 34. And that's that's something I like to see him running more. We haven't seen that for a while, especially last year. He's very hesitant to run last year. And because I know he can, I know he has the ability to run, and that's a good part of his game. That helps us win. That helps us score. When he does run, especially he had a great run. He literally did a quarterback sneak, and I've never seen this before, where he's going up the middle, nobody tackles him, so he just splits off and he runs for 25. I mean, on a quarterback sneak, that's something I haven't seen before. That was really cool to
That's
see.
more horrible defense than good
Yeah,
offense, in my
it
opinion.
was.
Yeah.
It was, but yeah, exactly. But that's why I haven't
But
seen it
great
before
heads up
because
play. Great heads up play by
yeah.
him. Yeah.
But that was awesome.
Okay, but
We
but
scored
let's
on
we
our
talk about
first.
let's talk about the real story here. Okay, let's talk about the real story.
I'm
Dak's
getting to it.
coming
I'm
back in
getting
his
to it.
group.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
No,
I'm
we have
getting
a
to it.
running back
I'm
controversy.
getting to it. I'm getting to
Okay.
it. We scored our first 4 drives. We scored all touchdowns.
Like,
Like I said,
I
we
can't
need to score.
comment on the Cowboys, man. Like, come on.
Well, I'm getting to it. You can comment when I'm going to get to that part. I know what you're getting to it,
Come on, man.
and
Let's
we
get to
can
that
talk,
part. Hurry up, man. Hurry up.
discuss about it.
Hurry up.
I mean, we got to fill out the show. I mean, that's the whole point of it, to get
It's
to
true.
one point to the next point.
But I could talk about the
we've been
Tony
doing.
Pollard Ezekiel Elliott incident all day.
I know. That's literally my next point. Why did you
Okay,
not
go
let me
continue.
get to it though?
Continue.
Okay. All right. So the biggest story, obviously, like I was just about to say before you interrupted me, was Tony Pollard. He ran for 14 carries, 131 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's the right amount for Tony Pollard to run for his amount of carries. He's never had more than 15 carries in a game in his entire career. And everybody gonna say, "Oh, this is why you should have Tony Pollard starting. This is why Tony should get everything, get all the carries." Guess what? He's did the same amount of work that he was doing in every other game. He got this many carries, split carries with Zeke in all the other games. 14 carries is what he got this game. That's what he's been doing. So that's just the formula that this offense has. That's what the scheme has. That's what we need to win these games.
Yeah, you say that, right? You say that. Like, he has the same carries, right?
Yeah.
But when he starts, like when Zeke's not there, why does it feel different then? If it's the same carries, why doesn't he do this every week?
We ran for as many yards as we did the week before. I mean, we had big.
But did he have 130? But did he have 130 yards before?
He didn't need to. That's the point. We need. I mean, we do what we need to win. He got 131 yards because he won because the Bears rushing defense is terrible. They have one of the worst rushing defenses in the league.
That's true.
That's one of the reasons why.
Because I saw them in action against the Giants. We
exactly.
Had like
so that's a big reason why he got the 131 yards. But otherwise, this is the splits. I mean, we should not. He should get all the carries. No, it should be what it's been through the whole season, a split amount of carries for both Zeke and Pollard. That's what works. That's what's been working, and it doesn't matter if because I don't think he'll be able to handle more carries. Obviously, his average goes down when he has more carries. We need Zeke for those tough yardages, and also Zeke is way better at pass protection. So the split carries thing, that's what it should stay at, and he's still going to get 131 yards, even at the 14 carries, even with the amount of carries that he got, he's still going to get the 131 yards. So what does it matter if he's splitting carries with Zeke? Zeke's going to get those tough yards, and Tony Pollard can have a great average. I mean, that's a great mixture to me. That's a winning formula. That's the formula that works. That's what we should go with. We're going to need both. Zeke's going to get those tough yardage, and Zeke's going to get those explosive runs. That's what works. That's what's been working. I don't see any reason why it changed. That's why in this game we made a certain effort to pass more, to not give him as many carries, because we passed a lot more than we have throughout the entire season. We also, like I said, Dak ran more to get more carries in rushing, and Malik Davis got 8 carries in this game. So he was still splitting carries. He was splitting with Dak and Malik Davis because they don't want to give him a full load because they don't think he can handle it, and neither do I. So that's my thoughts on that.
Wouldn't you know that for a fact? No, wouldn't you? Like, I think I know where you're coming, but wouldn't you know for a fact he can't handle it when you give it to him? Have you guys given him more than 14 carries?
No, he's never gotten over 15 carries in his career.
So how do you know he can't continue doing the production with more
because
carries?
When he's had because one, he has gotten hurt when he became the starter. One of the seasons that he had to become the starter, then he got hurt. Two, like I said, I don't want him in pass protection so
he's
much.
He's just not good. He's just not very good in pass protection. Okay.
No, he's not. Because
so he's not a 3-down back.
You saw the Bucs game, totally with.
He's not a 3-down back. Period. Then
he's not.
He'll never be a 3-down back. Then
he's not.
If he can't
he's an explosive runner. That's what he is. He's an explosive running back.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's
he's not Derrick Henry carrying it for 30
yeah.
times.
He's like a
For
slightly
200
bigger
whatever.
Darren. Is he like a bigger Darren Sproles? Because you didn't want Darren Sproles in pass protection. You know,
Yeah, but
they had him on
Darren's going
swing
to catch
routes.
out backfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's more like a slightly bigger Darren Sproles. Because if he's not very good at pass
Uh,
protection, he'll never be a 3-down back, and there's no
no,
purpose of
he's
him
not.
because yeah. So like okay, I understand. I understand why Cowboys fans don't like entertaining this argument because pass pro a running back is
It's
highly
not just
important.
pass pro. I mean, like everybody acts like Zeke don't get yards. Like if you go, Zeke has a good amount of rushing yards throughout the season. He's getting all those tough
Also,
yards.
too, Caleb, one of Tony's big plays. This is what I hate about the media, national and local. They never give credit to the big boys up front. There was an amazing seal block by Zach Martin where Tony
Mm.
just slips by. He literally he flies on the hip of Zach Martin while he was sealing him. Boom, like 35 yards. And
Yeah,
like
and on the
yeah.
biggest run on the 54 yarder he had for a touchdown, it was Tyler Smith had a great run block, just totally walled the
Mm-hmm.
guy, went off and took off from there. So yeah, I mean this offensive line is built for the running game. This our offensive line is really good at the run blocking. Has some technique problems in pass blocking, especially Terrence Steele and the Connor McGovern. Or whether it's Connor McGovern or Jason Pierce, whoever is playing left guard at the moment. Um,
One of the
that's
four
where they have
people.
the problems. And Tyler Smith himself has some
Yeah.
technique problems when it comes to
Yeah, no,
pass
because run
protection.
blocking is literally you run straight, you grab somebody, and you try to pin them, you try to smash them into the ground, and you
And
can
that's what
kind
these
of get
guys
away
are.
with a little
These
holding.
guys, Tyler
They're
Smith,
maulers.
Connor McGovern, Jason
They're
Peters,
maulers.
and Terrence Steelers. Yeah, Terrence Steele, all maulers, big maulers.
Yeah, they're yeah.
Obviously Zach Martin's an overall do everything kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like the
That's
second
why he's a
best
Hall of
guard in the
Famer.
entire NFL. So he's the second best guard. It's either
Um,
him and Quentin Nelson are 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, or whatever you prefer. Whoever's 1 for you, the other's 2, and whoever's 1, it doesn't matter. It's Quentin Nelson and him.
yeah,
Both Notre Dame boys, by the way, too. I just want to point that out. And what's
yeah.
funny
So I
too?
mean,
Quentin Nelson replaced Zach Martin at Notre Dame. You
oh
know
really?
that? That's weird, right? That's weird. That's why. Continue.
Yeah. So this most points the Cowboys. Obviously, I'm gonna go to the defense now. It's most points we've given up. So far this season. They gave up 240 yards on the ground. Obviously, they exploited our weakness in the run defense side of things. That's what we've been having problems with. We have problems with running quarterbacks. Um, Obviously, it's because, I mean, we're getting through the line. Like you can see the penetration. Our guys are getting upfield and we're attacking. And Justin Fields just, gets out, slips by,
That's the
and
problem right there,
goes
Caleb.
for
That's
how
the
many
problem.
yards?
Great run defense is not attacking upfield. It's filling gap, it's gap control. And I think we've talked about this for multiple weeks. You guys have a lot of good pass rushers. Not a lot of good run defenders. I think you have one or
And
two.
that's why we made the trade
Jonathan
this week
Hankins.
for Jonathan
That's why you
Hankins.
guys got Jonathan Hankins to bolster that because going you guys have missiles. Sam Williams, Michael Parsons, Ozi Odigizua. They're all missiles. They go forward. They go forward. But run defense, you kind of gotta fit the gap. You fit the gap and you stay in the gap and you kind of adjust to it. And you guys are going, hair on fire, attack ball. And in certain cases, you could use that to your advantage because he's gonna come try to attack you. And Justin Fields will be like, use their momentum against it. Like you're going 100%, forward. Justin Fields got to like move slightly right or left, and you miss him, and then he like has a nice crease. You know what I mean? That's what I said with Lamar Jackson against us. If he gets a good crease, it's over. It's over. And that's what happened with Justin Fields. You ended up winning the game because turnovers. I believe you were plus in the turnover side because you got that fumble recovery.
Yeah,
Michael caused how many turnovers
yeah.
did you cost them? Let me double check. Turnovers.
No, we made him fumble a couple times.
Yeah. How many turnovers did you cause?
And we threw one. Dak threw one pick before half.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was about it. But like I said, I think it's not for lack of like effort or trying to. It's more of just the scheme of the defense and what they're trying to
Too much effort.
accomplish
Too
on the
much effort.
defense.
You're rushing too much. It's a thing. People I'll be like, what do you mean too much effort? What do you mean they're over rushing? You can over rush. It happens all the time. It happened in the Giants game with a couple of our defenders. They over rushed and they let Geno Smith through. I'll talk about it before
We'll get to it.
yeah, we'll get to that. You can over rush, like, and you guys have a lot in pass rushers that's kind of sometimes their deficiency. They over rush. They over rush the play. They kind of go on a loop trying to control outside, or they kind of like just go too fast, too forward. It happens all the time. It's fixable. I'd rather teach a man to slow down than to speed up. You guys have a good problem. You have a lot of people who are speeding up. Good coaches can make those players slow down a little. You can't bring those players to make them. You can't have players who have Sam Williams and Michael Parsons and Dexter Lawrence's like fervor and speed on the pass rush. You can't teach that. You can teach them to slow down, but you can't teach them to speed up. It's just not possible. So Dan Quinn has a good problem to have. The Cowboys have a good problem to have. Your rushers are over rushing basically, and that's how you kind of take advantage of people in the rush game. And also too, like, it's the Bears. They have a phenomenal rushing attack. So what you expect? You're not going to fully stop them.
They do. I mean, they're one of the best rushing attacks in the league, and so we gave up yards. I mean, that's just. I mean, what's going to happen? I guess.
Exactly.
But overall, we still did pretty decent job overall with the passing game. Obviously, Fields can't really throw that ball that much, but we did sack him 4 times. Dante Fowler, man, he's been showing up. He's been getting after it. I think that was a really, really underrated free agent signing that we had, because he's been really good this season. We were playing without, and I think another reason why we gave up so many things, we're playing out with a few different key defensive players here. We
defensive backs more specifically. Defensive backs specifically.
Malik Hooker was out for this game. He's a great tackler, and that was missed obviously in the running game. Our safeties just kept getting injured the whole game. Donovan Wilson kept getting injured. Jaron Curse kept going in and out of the game. I think that was a big problem because Israel Muthana does not want to hit nobody. He's more of a coverage guy. So that really affected our tackling ability right there when our safety were just in flux like that. That was a problem for us. But a big
playing a team like Chicago can do that though. Playing a team of Chicago, because they'll just keep running the ball, and your safeties are always going to come up and try to tackle. And sometimes they may tackle wrong on a play that they need to sit out. It happens a lot with teams like Chicago.
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to Damone Clark. He just got activated his first game. He had a neck injury that had to miss him some time. People didn't think he was going to play this season. He was supposed to be a first or second round pick. He went all the way down to the 5th, 6th round, something like that. But he was a major piece of that LSU defense. And he finally got active. He in his first game back, he had 6 tackles. Good start for a guy who, like I said, wasn't even supposed to be playing this season. So I'm really excited to see what else he can build off going forward. Just adding to I think our linebacking core is really good. I think Anthony Barr went out of the game, so I think that's what had him be in the game more, having to contribute there. Like I said, the Jonathan Hankins signing, don't know if we can see the full scale of how much that helped or not. It is his first game in there, but he did have like 3 tackles. So I think going forward, maybe that signing will have more effect. We'll see. Parsons, he seemed like he was banged up, man. He seemed like, I saw him like late in the game. He's all laid out on the bench, like he was just like like totally worn out from whatever he's dealing with. I'm not sure what he's dealing with. But even though he was, it seemed looked like he was
That's what happens when you
hurting.
play. That's what
Um,
happens when you play at 100% all the time, every time you play on the field, and you're like playing at like 8 different spots. Like that's what happens. You're ready to pass the hell out after a game. He probably just
yeah.
needs to like chill out for like a day or two.
But he's been dealing with some certain things. Even going back to the Eagles game, I think. But he still had a fumble recovery. He got a touchdown in this game. So even with them, that he's still making plays happen. The play he scored on was crazy because obviously he forced I think someone forced the fumble. He picks up the fumble, but Justin Fields could have touched him down. He jumps over him, doesn't touch him. Parsons gets up, and everybody is telling Parsons, "Hey, go, keep going, keep going. You're not touched down," and that's how he gets the touchdown. Like, and then they show the replay, and Fields just completely doesn't even touch him when he jumps right over him. Not even a little bit touched. That's what led to the score. So that was a crazy play. So yeah, defense. And honestly, I'm not gonna blame it. The total to say the Russian defense was so terrible, or anything like that, because I was getting pissed. I was getting so goddamn pissed off in this game, and it was the freaking refs. I mean, they are so goddamn blind, and I'm not exaggerating here. They're literally holding on every play. There was holding on every goddamn play, and I was like, these guys are getting pulled, held, guys' arms around their neck. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. They even said in the announcement, "Oh, there was a hold on that play. Oh, that could have been called." I'm like, no shit. Every single goddamn play, holding, and they weren't freaking calling, throwing the flag, and it was pissing me off. And that was the most frustrating part of this game. So I don't even give the Bears this credit because, my God, they were holding so damn much, and it wasn't getting called, and it was bull. It was bull. So I don't even know how bad our defense was actually being out there because if those these were called, then I don't think this would happen. How much they
Kayvon
get
Thibodeau was being
so
assaulted on every play, and he was being assaulted
well,
on every play. Kayvon was being assaulted. I'm like, seriously? He's a rookie, so they won't give him the call. But like he's like legitimately being insulted, like assaulted all the time. And I'm like, yo, man, where's his stats, his sacks, his sacks? You can't fucking sack nobody when you're being choked.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And he's still getting pressure while a grown man is grabbing. He lit up Charles Cross straight up on a power rush. And like he lit Charles Cross out and he almost had that sack. But Gino like threw it away. And I'm like, man, almost, brother. Almost.
yeah. So yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible referee in that game. So
We had Jerome
uh,
Bogart in our game.
that's not great.
Yeah. Dude, they
I don't
called
even know
a
who we had, but
yeah, dude, they called a so it was a punt return, right? That was a great punt return. Great punt return. The one great punt return Richie James actually had. I'll talk about Richie James a little bit later. They called a blindside block on I don't know who it was. No, I think Jason Pinnock. Like blindside block on Jason Pinnock. And they showed the replay of the blindside block. He was just blocking the dude on as the gunner. He was just blocking the gunner. There was no blindside block. I'm like, and you hear on the announcers, Mark Sanchez was like, "Where the hell is the blindside block? I don't see it. What is it?" I'm like, "Beats me, Mark." Shit.
yeah, man. So overall, I was a great win. We won by 20 points. We scored 49 points. That's pretty damn good to me. Yes, it was against the team under 500, but hey, we did what we were supposed to do, kick the inferior team's ass. So I'm happy about that. We go in the bye with the win. Always like seeing that. I think the pie comes at a perfect time. Obviously, I said we were missing key we had some key injuries on defense. Noah Brown was out for this game. We were playing a lot of 2 tight end sets, which was great to see. I mean, all of our tight ends are contributing, all 3 of them. Ferguson, Hendershot, and obviously Dalton Schultz. I mean, Dak could just spread into all of them, and that's freaking
Sounds
awesome.
like
That
us
we have like
until
3
Daniel Bellinger
really good
got his
tight
eye
ends.
taken out. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously
the eye
Gallup and
socket.
CD Lamb were looking good. Lamb had a hell of a touchdown, of a play there. But yeah, so we the bye comes in good time, right in the middle of the season. That's exactly where you want it, to get ready for the second half of the season. So I think we'll get healthy. We'll get Zeke
You on
back. I
bye
think we'll
too?
get yeah.
You're on. Oh, so okay. So both of us are on the bye. Damn. What's our show gonna be next week?
Yeah, that's why later in the show, when we talk about, since we have no games to talk about, we'll talk about the rest of the NFC East.
Okay. All right.
Are you still with me? All right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, just one more thing. Yeah, so it's good time for bye. Get healthy. But yeah, it was a great day for that offense. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Time for the other boys in blue. And they made me blue because we lost one other team in blue in the Pacific Northwest. I would play the New York Giants sound bites, but guess what happened this week? We lost. And I'm very sad because
you still playing for me?
Yeah, my sound bites are positive. I can't play a positive sound bite when we lost. I can't play the all hail the New York Giants.
You did it when we lost. You did it when we lost to the Eagles, jackass.
No, I didn't. What do you mean? I didn't
yes,
play.
Yes, you did.
I played. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, you did. You said, "Oh, we'll play the glory hole one."
And then that one's multi-purpose. He wanted some glory hole and he couldn't get it against the Eagles. No. This is what this. Caleb, you still with me? No, this is what this game did to me. This is what this game did to me.
Emotional damage.
That's what it did to me. And let me tell you why. Because the game was tight throughout the entire time. It was tight. It was 13-13 at one aspect. You know what I mean? And there was one time, it's 13-13, right? It's cool. With 13-13, we're fine. We get a 3 and out. And then, well, actually, before it was 13-13, we punted the ball and then Richie James fumbled. All right. But then the defense came back onto the field and only allowed a field goal. So we're like, you only allowing a field goal? That's perfect. Nice mitigation of the pain. What happens again? Defense comes out. And here's the thing too. Richie James, we just stopped them on third down. And it was like a beautiful blitz by Xavier McKinney. He found a crease and he was wide open. And he crushes Geno Smith. And I'm like, oh my God, it's over. Dude, the momentum is on our side. This is how you beat a team with a hostile work environment. You take their soul, you take it early and often. And then Richie James literally just gave it back to them. He just gave it back to them. He's holding the ball like a loaf of bread. He's not protecting it. The first thing you'd learn on special teams as a returner, protect the ball at all costs. Protect it. He was saying, who wants the ball? Someone hit me. Somebody hit me. You know what I mean? Brian Daboll in his press conference was like, oh, it looked like the first time, he actually, someone hit the ball very good. No, he didn't. He hit Richie James on the side and then the ball popped out, And then in the previous play, the defense showed up. The defense showed up in Seattle because we pinned Jamie Gillen pins them at the 2-yard line, Caleb. Pins them at the 2-yard line. Their first play, they throw it to Tyler Lockett on like a swing route or a quick play. Adoree Jackson grabs him, tackles him, pokes the ball out, grabs the fumble, and he's about to score, but Tyler Lockett grabs him by the ankle and brings him down.
I mean, they didn't show up on the Kenneth Walker touchdown.
Yeah, I know. because I think that point they were too gassed because the offense didn't help out today. The offense didn't show up, and that's the problem we run into, Caleb. We were winning these games because we were on the right side of the margin. We have a slim margin of error to win these games. Slim margin.
I have a different theory.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah, your luck finally ran out. That's what happened.
Shut up.
And finally, the luck happened the opposite way, and it happened for the team you were playing, and they got the lucky
but it wasn't luck. It was
luck.
No,
it's luck when
Richie James.
Do we really expect the same guy to fumble twice? That's some lucky ass shit.
For them?
Yes, for them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what's been happening with you guys just happened to you.
What team has fumbled like Richie James in our victories?
You got luck. You got all kinds of lucky fumbles.
No. Point it out. Where was the luckiest?
I remember in the Titans game there was a lucky fumble.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
There was one lucky fumble in one of the games, and I do remember that.
Travis Etienne we caused Travis Etienne to fumble when Xavier McKinney punched the ball out. That's the fumble.
You always get lucky bounces, lucky shit happen, missed field goals, and crap like that helps you guys get the
missed field goals.
And finally,
one missed field goal against the Titans. Is that what we're talking about? The one missed field goal against the Titans?
But all kinds of lucky shit throughout the whole season.
Name them. Come on, name them.
Well, I have to go back and watch the film. Okay, I gotta get
watch the film. First, tell me, because the only lucky field goal that we've ever done is the Randy Bullock one. That's the one we could have lost that game, but he missed it. That one. You could say luck, but all the other victories, their field goal kickers have been very good. They haven't.
You just get lucky stuff happening. Lucky bounces go your way. Everything goes your way, and that's how you guys been winning.
I don't agree with your assessment because
now finally it happened to you, and that's why you guys lost.
We could have won this game, but turnovers really killed us because
your luck ran out.
They didn't run out, man. I'm just saying the defense showed up, but then the problem is, speaking of the Kenneth Walker touchdown, Kenneth Walker did nothing the entire game. That touchdown was at the end of the game.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't show up, and they just got
Yeah, like literally, they were on the field. The offense didn't help. It clearly not having Daniel Bellinger in the game and not having any receivers whatsoever is not helping the New York Giants win anything. When your best receiver is Darius Slayton and your second best receiver is Marcus Johnson, it's not helping. Like, you need a receiver.
Saying when Saquon Barkley gets shut down that you don't have any other options?
No. Saquon Barkley, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But here's the thing too. I think we could have been able to run the ball more if we had Daniel Bellinger, because we only had one blocking tight end. Because if we had both blocking tight ends, which is Tanner Hudson and Daniel Bellinger, Chris Myrick is a fullback, H-back kind of receiving threat. And is Hudson the receiver? Myrick is the blocker. Daniel Bellinger, them two, they would be on the bookends near the tackles. As well, it doesn't help that we were starting our backup right tackle in Seattle, where literally it got hella loud on third down, and he literally jumped off sides like we were ready, like verbatim. It happened, and you pictured it, and it happened. And Tyree Phillips literally just jumped and was like, "Oh snap, I jumped too early," because I'm like, bro, like I'm sorry, man, you're a professional. Like, I'm sorry to this, like, yo, man, it's really loud in Seattle. You're still a professional. Learn the count, bro. Learn the count. I'm not gonna excuse you for not learning the count, knowing your job. You know what I mean? Nick Gates is back after that gruesome leg injury he had a year ago. So he came back. He was a jumbo tight end as well as an extra lineman when we needed him. We needed him to play guard. I know that for a fact, because we're on our backup guards. We're missing both guards, I believe. No, just a guard and a tackle. We're missing Ben Bredesen and Evan Neal. Now we're starting Joshua Zudu. Perfectly fine. He has started. He has played a lot. That's fine. But the right tackle, Tyree Phillips, hasn't played a lot. You know what I mean? And that's the issue we ran into. Kenneth Walker did nothing most of the game. He did nothing. We shut him down. Like, there, like, literally, like he averaged 2.8 yards a carry. and on 18 carries. Like,
Yeah, the crazy thing is that you guys weren't able to run on them. They have like the second worst rushing defense in the league. So I don't know how they were able to.
see, that's you know why. Here's the thing: they have great corners. Their corners are pretty good, and this is what they did. They put their corners on islands. We're like, dude, you're gonna go one on one with David Sills. You're gonna go one on one with Marcus Johnson. If you can't guard them, you shouldn't be in the NFL. And that's what they did. They put them in man, and they stacked the box. It was 8-9 men in the box because they're like our corners and our safeties. We'll do one on one with them all day. Because here's the thing, man. The one thing Seattle knows how to do, they know how to make good corners out of nothing. Quandre Diggs, um, Mike Jackson was all over the place. There's some dude named Mike Jackson. I don't know who the hell he is.
I think we had him.
You didn't
I
probably.
think we
Cool.
drafted him.
Okay. So like here's the thing. They had Tariq Woolen, they had Mike Jackson, they had Quandre Diggs. They're like, you're gonna go man to man. Because we believe in you to stop these receivers, because these receivers aren't that good. You'll be on them man to man, and we'll stop Saquon Barkley. Bad, like that's the reason is the reason they're a bad rush team is that the teams they were against had receivers who could test the corners, so they couldn't stack the box. Because if you put man to man against a good receiver, once or you're gonna get beat. A receiver's gonna get you. You're gonna get got in the NFL. But against the New York Giants, the man you're going man to man against is David Sills. It's Marcus Johnson. This is Wan'Dale Robinson's second game. He had some good moments, but he can't do nothing when there's no outside threat. There's no outside threat to stretch the defense out. Because I think Wan'Dale's going to be a slot weapon, and he's going to do a lot of, in the slot, probably towards the middle. But when the box is condensed and there's so much humanity in the middle of the field, Wan'Dale isn't gonna produce very well because there's too much traffic in the middle of the field. That's why you need the outside boundary receiver who can stretch the field and make them stretch the defense. The Seattle didn't have to stretch their defense side to side. They kept it in the phone booth, and that's what they're like. We're stopping 26. You don't have your other blocking tight end because we could have put, the 5 offensive linemen and the 2 tight ends. We could have done that if we wanted to, but the problem is Danny Bellinger doesn't have a right eye right now. All right. He's missing an eye. Well, not really. I'm just saying like he had eye surgery. So like he's going to be out for 6 weeks, 4 to 6. So we have one good blocking tight end and a backup right tackle, a backup left guard. We did say it was a trap game. Jared was right. This was the trap game. We beat Detroit. We beat the Jags. We beat everybody. We were gonna lose one of these games. Positiveness is we go into Thanksgiving 9-1. But if we go into the Thanksgiving as 8-2, still good to me. We regroup on the bye week. Refine what we're doing, how to protect Daniel Jones, but also too like it's the Texans. Whatever. So this is a good bounce back game. If we don't bounce back and beat the snot out of the Texans, like I'm gonna be real, like if the receivers don't show up against the Texans, against corners, I have no idea who even exists on the Texans. The only person I know who plays for the Texans is Brandon Cooks and Davis Mills and Laramie Tunsil. That's it. Who's on defense?
Don't know.
Exactly. And we're not the Colts. So here's the thing. We're not the Colts. The Texans always show up against the Colts. Every year. Against the Colts, they're always showing up. We're not the Colts. All right? We should be able to run on them and go forward. Because we can, yeah, Derrick Henry has 4 games of 200 yards against them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So we should bounce back. And it's a bye week too. Like you have a week of rest, more rest, more integration for Nick Gates. Probably Nick Gates starts next week at left guard. Maybe. Or right tackle, for Christ's sakes. Who cares? Because we already have Josh Azudu. So probably one of them, integrate him into the lineup. Our defense showed up, but what always happens against teams whose offense does not help their defense, and the defense has to come back on the field. Literally, Caleb, the dichotomy of when you don't help your defense. Xavier McKinney just makes this great play of sacking Geno Smith, goes to the sideline, hugs his homies, puts his helmet on the rack, and he's smiling, laughing. Then he sees the play, grabs his helmet, gets back on the field. He just made this great play on Geno Smith, and now he has to go back and play more defense, and then proceeds to only limit them to a field goal. It's still 13-13, close game. It's a close game, 13-13.
Well, all your games are close.
Yeah, it's true. Good point, but let me finish my point. But if the defense keeps going back out on the field, and literally the Giants have 3 straight 3-and-outs, 3 straight 3-and-outs, when you're not helping your defense, not even just like, scoring, but sustaining drives, having long drives, taking time, let them rest. They didn't allow them to rest. And then at the end of the game, they scored that touchdown that crushed us, and it was over. Because the defense was shot. Because at the end of the day, like I keep saying, every defense is human. You're going to lose if your defense is on the field more times than not. Think there it is. Here's it. Oh, literally, man, you didn't sustain any drives. And the reason the time of possession is kind of thrown off is because at the end of the game, the Giants had the ball, but they did nothing with it. And the Seahawks just ran the ball and nailed it, and the game was over. We only beat them by 7 minutes of time of possession. So really, it was 7 minutes of garbageness. So they pounded the rock, and they sustained drives. They may not have scored on every drive, but they were on the field for longer times, and they grinded out our defense because our offense isn't helping us. And our offense is not there yet. We're missing a key component of a Brian Daboll offense. The route runner, the receiver who's a route runner who can stem at the top, who knows the route tree. That's why, next week we'll also talk about if, trades or stuff, people that are targeted against us, because there's been a lot of speculation that we may get Jerry Jeudy, or we're trying to get a receiver. We may not do it because we don't have the capital for it. Because we did trade Kadarius Toney this week to Kansas City for a third or a fourth and a sixth. I don't know if the third was conditional. No, because there was one report that said it was a straight up third, and there was another report that said it was a conditional third, which could be a fourth or a second. So I don't know. What is it, a third or a conditional third? But we did get a sixth. So there's that.
But you spent a first round pick on him, so
that's true. But here's the thing too. That trade got us 2 first round picks the very next year, and we drafted Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. And and Joe Shane didn't spend that first. David Gettleman spent that first. So there's that. So he had no connection with him. And then there's a lot of things that happened with Kadarius, he admitted that he's not hurt anymore. So fans were like, "Wait, you haven't been hurt for a couple of weeks? What's going on right now?" So you lied? So it became a whole circus. And me, wish him luck in Kansas City. Hope he thrives. Hope he fixes his life. Good for him. I hope he stops getting hurt, because his hamstrings keep getting hurt. His foot kept getting hurt. There's always something with his legs.
Speaking of receivers hurt, both the Seahawks top receivers were both dealing with injuries, and they were both questionable to be in this game. Both DK and Tyler Lockett. They didn't even know if they were going to have them for this game. But they both played.
Yeah, they weren't hurt. They lied.
They might have lied.
They definitely lied, because I watched Tyler.
Maybe DK, because DK they thought was going to be out for a while.
Yeah, patella. It was like a patella tendon injury.
Yeah, so
right?
maybe not that one. Because I think that really was a game day decision, because I think he was supposed to be long term. Gone.
Tyler Lockett wasn't hurt. Tyler Lockett wasn't hurt.
Maybe not.
Yeah, they
were both questionable. They both played and they both made touchdowns. So that definitely made a big difference in the game. Because I don't know what they would have done without those two options at the receiver. So I mean,
Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I think Tyler Lockett like dropped the ball and someone was like, see, I told you he was hurt. I was like, hamstrings aren't hands. How is he hurt? He just dropped the ball. What are you talking about? It's not being hurt. He just dropped it. Get out of here. It's like Tyler Lockett wasn't hurt. DK Metcalf is not a human being. He's not human. And here's the thing too. An offense with two solid receivers. Look how they had to they stretched the New York Giants defense. The Giants had to play. They couldn't put in the phone book. They stopped Kenneth Walker. That's cool, but they didn't like put 8 in the box. 9 in the box to stop him. You know what I mean? Because they had to like play with the receivers were right there. If the Giants had like a DK Metcalf, you couldn't put 9 in the box against Saquon Barkley. There's still massive divisions on the New York Giants. Like when we win, I like to be hyperbolic and I'll be like kind of like a wacko on purpose. But when the dust settles, there's clear deficiencies on this team and we need a receiver. We do. We need it. And here's the thing too. And if we don't get it at the deadline, we better draft one. You better find a receiver you like and you draft him. Or Joe Shane is from Buffalo, and what they did, they didn't draft a receiver. They traded for a receiver. They traded for Stephon Diggs. They didn't draft one. They traded for Stephon Diggs. They drafted defensive players. They drafted Gregory Rousseau, Ed Oliver. They just like drafted a bunch of AJ Epinesa. So like for 3 straight years, they drafted Oliver, Epinesa, and Gregory Rousseau. And they traded for Stephon Diggs. So if Joe Shane wants to trade for a receiver, do it. Because he was a part of that regime, and he saw Brandon Beane go out and get his receiver. He's like, I'm going to give my quarterback a receiver. I want Stephon Diggs because he doesn't want to be in Minnesota. Give me Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? But a player like Stephon Diggs is going to warrant a first-round pick. And are you willing to, like who out there in the market that is probably gettable? Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore probably. Even though I've heard DJ Moore's Brandon Cooks is on the market. DJ Moore, I believe I heard the story where he's like he's not on the market. Carolina won't listen to offers for him. Him and Brian Burns, they won't listen to offers, even though someone gave him 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and they said no. So there's that. Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore. That's pretty much Brandon Cooks. Those are the only 3 receivers on the market. Allegedly. 2 are on the market, and one of them is rumors, but the owner organization is like, we're not trading him.
You say Claypool?
Claypool is on the market, I've heard, but I don't want Chase Claypool. You know what I mean? Like the Pittsburgh receivers don't succeed outside of Pittsburgh.
I mean, wouldn't you take anything right now?
Yeah, give me Jerry Jeudy. Like he don't want to be there with Russell Wilson. KJ Hamler don't want to be there with Russell Wilson. Give Denver a 3rd-round pick for him.
I mean, they won. They won today.
I can't believe Jacksonville lost in London. That's awful. It's your hometown. Win. God damn it. But yeah, man, this offense needs a receiver to unlock its full potential. Because if it doesn't, and you're
I mean,
well, yeah, because it is because here's the thing.
Still got Daniel Jones throwing in the ball.
Yeah, you act like Josh Allen was great the early years of Brian Daboll's system.
I mean,
it wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
Now, because I know what Daniel Jones is, man. He's an athletic quarterback. He can make certain throws. Can he win me a game? Yeah, he has.
He had 5.
He had 5 game-winning drives.
Didn't win this game.
Well, yeah, the problem is, man, he's throwing to Marcus Johnson.
That's true.
Like literally, dude. Like imagine, we're playing the Rams, and they're like, "Oh, Jalen, you're going 1-on-1 today. Cool. Who am I going against? Stephon Diggs? No, you're going against David Sills. Who? David Sills. Well, no, he wearing 13. You mean Odell Beckham Jr.? No, that's David Sills. But he's wearing 13. No, it's David Sills. Okay, fine. I'll go 1-on-1. It'll be the easiest day in Jalen Ramsey's career. Like literally, like when we play against Philly. Like, hey Darius, you're going man-to-man tonight. Cool. Who am I going man-to-man against? Marcus Johnson. Darius Slay would be like, excuse me? Darius Slay would be like, what? Marcus who? Marcus Johnson. All right, cool. By the way, Um, I saw on Twitter his wife and Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants got a little little spat when he. By the way, Darius Slayton is big play Slay. I've never everyone here called Darius Slay big play Slay since like even when he was in Detroit, no one ever called him that because you
I
know
mean,
why
I heard it.
in Detroit,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good for him.
I never heard Darius Slayton be called that, but
I've heard him be called that.
well, yeah, you're a Giants fan, so
I don't know when he was rookie year when he had 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Then he never
okay.
did that again.
How
It's
many
pretty sad,
games that did you?
huh?
How many games y'all win?
It was a dark time in the New York Giants history.
Oh, I
Well,
bet it was.
I mean, I personally don't care, man. It's a nickname. Who gives a damn? I personally don't care. I just find it funny that they're arguing over a nickname. I'm like, all right, whatever. I also hate the Eagles. I will
Oh
never
yeah,
give the Eagles credit. If he was still in
it's true.
Detroit, if he was still in Detroit, I'll give him that. But he's wearing an Eagles uniform, so
And they're all scumbags.
yeah, pretty much. Well, not the players.
No, players. They decided to sign the contract with the team. That scumbag organization. So that makes
Darius
them
didn't
scumbag.
decide. He got traded.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he could refuse the trade.
No, he couldn't.
Should have said out.
It's the NFL. You're not going to refuse a
Yeah, I
trade. Get
would
out of here,
refuse.
Caleb.
I wouldn't put on that disgusting green uniform.
Yeah. It's an ugly uniform, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just an ugly uniform. Like, and why does it face left? Why? You know, someone said it's like there's like a secret E on the right, and I've tried to find it. They're liars. It doesn't exist. They're liars. They're genuine liars. And like, I can't believe this franchise had Jerome Brown and Reggie White. It's just, you know what's funny to me? People remember Reggie White as a Packer. That's the greatest thing ever. You know what they remember? You know what they remember? Reggie White? They remember him as a Packer running around the field with that Super Bowl.
I remember Randall Cunningham with the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, no, they actually remember him as an Eagle too.
No,
Yeah,
they
they
won't care
do.
about the '98 season though.
Yeah, I know, but they know no. You know why I know? You know why I know they know him as an Eagle? It's that famous play where Carl Banks is trying to tackle him, and he like tackles him, but like Randall then jumps backwards and like lands on his feet, comes back up and like throws it this way, and he's wearing an Eagles uniform, and people remember that play. So yeah, that I have to disagree with you on one. But here's the
Oh,
thing: at least our quarterbacks, Caleb, never threw up in a Super Bowl.
that's true.
It's true. And one of our wide receivers never, became a national news cycle doing sit-ups in a. Well, you know what? He
Well, that
played for
was
you.
my receiver.
Yeah, that was your receiver.
We
That's
signed
my
him right after that.
that's my
We like
quarterback.
that so
That's
much
my
because
that's my quarterback, dog. Not like Tio. Good job ripping the Eagles apart. I enjoy you. No, we're a franchise that never started Kevin Cobb.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when Kevin Cobb was like, Kevin Cobb's gonna be the next big thing. And then Arizona like traded for him and like he like fell flat on his face.
No.
None work. Yeah.
So you want to get into the Eagles?
I hate the
Or
Eagles.
are you still going with the Giants?
Sorry. No, I'm done with the Giants. Let's preview next week.
Okay. So the Eagles,
It's
obviously,
bye week. It's bye week. What am I doing?
that's why we're talking about NFC East as a
Okay.
whole because we're
Okay.
competing in this NFC East.
Washington won
Obviously,
today. Washington won today, right?
I'm getting to it. Getting to it. Eagles destroy the Steelers 35-13. They're 7-0. They're the number one team in our division.
Mhm.
AJ Brown went off for 3 touchdowns. Like,
Why couldn't he do this next week? Why couldn't he done this next week? I face Tony next week. God damn it.
So yeah, that sucks. And then guess who they play on Thursday night? Them Houston Texans.
Oh, those seasons. Yep.
Yeah. So it looks like 8-0 for the Eagles, which sucks for both of us. The only real thing the Texans got going for them is that the Texans are at home, and the
It's a
on
short
Thursday
week.
night, yeah, on Thursday nights, the home team usually has the even more an advantage. So that's really the only hope we can have for the Eagles losing in this game. Because obviously we both need the Eagles to lose so we can keep pace with them.
Mhm.
Well, obviously the Giants fall to fall to 3. We're at number 2
Tiebreaker.
in the
Yeah.
division because we obviously had the head-to-head that we won against you guys. And then the Commanders, like you just mentioned, they get a crazy comeback win against the Indianapolis Colts. They were down 16-7 in the fourth quarter. Heineke just making some great plays. Like I got to admit,
Heineke magic, baby.
With his legs, with his arm, especially on that last drive, he gets a 33-yard pass to McLaurin right at the one. Then the Heineke he takes it himself to score the touchdown, and then they win by a point. I think they win by a point.
You see what a great receiver does for a quarterback. Scary Terry, one of the most underrated dude. I hate facing him, dude. And it irks me that he plays in Washington, because if he didn't play in Washington, people would be talking about his name every week of how great he is. Look, his entire career, his quarterbacks, and whose quarterbacks have been Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, Alex Smith, Josh Allen, Kyle Allen, like Kyle Allen, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith. Scary Terry's been having it's like early Houston DeAndre Hopkins when TJ Yates, Matt Schaub, Brandon Whedon. That the year Deshaun got hurt, but he was the starter. Then he ended up getting hurt after the Seattle game. I don't remember. Like Scary Terry, man. He damn good. That brother damn good, man. He that boy is good, man. He good. 6 catches, 18 yards a catch. Dude, come on, man. Like, it's crazy, dude.
The Commanders look like they got some juice, man. After they make the switch from obviously Wentz has got hurt, Heineke came in. He's 2-0. They got something going over there with that new
great interior line.
Making that switch.
Great interior line, bro, with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. And then they got Montez Sweat off the edge. Chase Young is still fighting back from that ACL injury. It's going to take him a year and some change, like it always does for somebody. You have a great linebacker in Cole Holcomb, great tackling machine. He's a phenomenal tackling machine, but a great inside interior in Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. That interior, it's one of the best in the game. One of the best in the game.
Yeah. And they've won 3 in a row so far.
Yep.
They're 4-4. They are 4-4, and they could be in the mix for a wild card spot. Especially with the way this the whole entire NFC as a whole.
3 spots. It's gonna be 3 spots.
Yeah.
You know, in craziness, Caleb, let's talk about it. The NFC East could have all 4 teams make it. Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, 4-4 is leading the NFC South right now. So
yes,
I mean, Washington be number 1 in that division.
Exactly.
That's how crazy this NFC East and the NFC as a whole has been. It's not they're not very good teams right now.
Yes, so the good teams are winning, and 4 of the best teams are in the East.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. 4 teams gonna make the playoffs. But yeah, so they're at the bottom of the division for now, of the best division in football. But I just want to ask you, how you feel about where the NFC East standings looking like right now, and how you feel about your Giants keeping pace with the Eagles and the Cowboys.
I think we will keep pace because we already won 6 games, and if we go 500 from now, I think we win. We're 11-6, and I think 11-6 makes the playoffs, right? If we go 500,
definitely in the NFC, definitely.
Yeah, definitely in the NFC. And I'm looking at the playoff picture right now, Caleb. Eagles are number 1 in the NFC. And then you got the Vikings. Seattle's 3 actually. They're 5-3. They're 5-3.
Wow.
Falcons are 4th because they're the NFC South. In the first 2 wildcard teams, me, you, us, the Niners, right? Us 3. And guess who's number 8?
Aren't the Niners leading the division? Oh no, the Seahawks.
No, Seahawks are 5-3. Niners are 4-4. Yeah. Guess who number 8 is? Guess who number 8 is?
Number 8 would that be out of the playoffs?
No, but yeah, guess who is the team, the first team out? Guess who it is that could be in if something crazy happens down the road? Guess who is it?
Washington.
Yes, they're 8. So, but they're 4-4, right? Let's say the Niners or the Seahawks they beat each other, and then like Washington wins a couple and
I mean,
beats
Washington has the same schedule as we both looked at our schedule. They have the same schedule. They play the same teams. It's
yeah.
the
So
AFC South and all those crappy teams, and
so they can make it
yeah,
because they just need the Niners and the Seahawks to fight for that division spot only. Because if they make it, if they fight for the division spot and the wild card spot, probably Washington's outside looking in. But at this moment, there's a possibility that the East has 4 teams. It's a possibility with the new format.
yeah.
And because like let's hear like number 9 is the Rams at 3-4, Bucks are 3-5, Packers are 3-5, Arizona's 3-5, Saints are 3-5, Bears are 3-5. So there's that.
Yeah.
Then Carolina and the Lions are 2-6 and 1-6. So they're nothing. They're absolutely nothing. So yeah, like that number 7 is gonna be a fight to the death, basically. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And on the it's weird, the AFC, it's Bills, Titans, Chiefs, Ravens. Guess who the number 5 is?
Bills, Titans, Chiefs, Ravens. Did you mention the Bengals?
No. Bengals are 8. 5, 6, and 7. Jets, Dolphins, Chargers.
Jets, Dolphins.
Yeah. Bengals are 4-3 at 8. Patriots are 4-4 at 9. And the Colts are 3-4-1 with that stupid ass tie that they
because
got.
the Bengals haven't played yet. That's why.
The Bengals haven't played yet. So they play on Monday night?
Yeah, they play Monday night.
Guess who?
Browns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they'll move up.
If they win, they'll be in.
Yeah.
I think well, because the Chargers had a bye this week, so there's that. So yeah, man, the NFC East, man, you may blink, and by the end of the season, it could be 4 teams.
Yeah,
the entire division can make the playoffs.
Yeah, but also saying that with the Eagles' schedule, they have also an easy schedule. I'm having trouble finding the losses, to be honest.
Let's see the Eagles' schedule. Let's see the Eagles' schedule.
Bring it up. Because it's gonna be tough to keep pace with them.
Oh, next week they have the Texans this Thursday. That's a dub.
Yeah.
The following week, I think the reason the Commanders may not make the playoffs is that they may lose to us and you and the Eagles. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And they face the Commanders. That's 9 in a row, right there.
I mean, that could be a tough game. It's divisional matchup. Anything.
Yeah, divisional matchups always are tough. They're always tough. Texans, Colts, every year. Jacksonville, Colts, every year. You're like, the Colts are like completely better than Jacksonville. Jacksonville comes out of nowhere and just beats them 24-14. You're like, what just happened? You know what I mean? It happens all the time. So I'm leaning 2-0 personally.
Yeah.
Personally. So then they got the Colts and the Packers.
Both of those.
Yeah, that's 11-0 right there. That's 11-0 right there. And then they got Titans.
Titans gonna be lost. There's gonna be the loss right there.
Yeah, because Derrick Henry is not a human being, so that could be a loss. And then Giants on December 11th, because if the Giants have any goddamn pride in themselves, they make it tough and try to like fight. Bears.
No, that's a win.
That's a win. And then you guys.
That's a loss. That's a lot. We'll win that game.
On the day before Christmas?
That's Christmas Eve. We'll win that game.
Wait, I thought Christmas. Wait, so what?
It's Christmas Eve.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking the 26th. My apologies. I thought the 25th was Christmas Eve. 26th was Christmas Day. It's actually 24, 25. Sorry. So on Christmas, Santa's gonna give you so that's 2 losses probably. The 4th and the 24th. Then you got the 1st of January against the Saints. I think they're beating the Saints personally because the Saints are in shambles. And then us on the 8th. That could be a division, like if everything like bounces our way, that could be like if you win this game, you win the division type shit. You know what I mean? But in that moment, it would be like you've already clinched, and we've already clinched, and they have already clinched, and we're fighting for the division. Or
yeah, so outside of the division, they have really one possible loss, which is the Titans.
Yeah.
And then inside the division, they can pretty much lose to any of us because it's just that's our
division. Like, dude, there were years where we sucked, and we would like beat the Eagles, or like we would sneak a game from you. And I'm like, we shouldn't have won this game, but sure, cool, I'm with it. And then like same thing with the Eagles. Like they were horrible for a couple years, and they always snatched the game from us. Or I think they snatched the game from you one time. You know what I mean? But then I remember the year, you remember that year that you guys had to beat them twice on back-to-back weeks? Remember that?
On the playoffs?
No. So like y'all beat them in week 17 to make the playoffs. Then y'all faced them in the wild card round. And then y'all had to face them again. Then you ended up facing the Vikings. And then it's the year the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Yes, 2009.
Yeah. Bountygate. Shout out to Bountygate. That was a good scandal. I like that scandal. You know, paying money for people. All right, continue.
But yeah, so everything. So that's only like maybe 2-3 losses.
Yeah. For them. So that's 14-3 or 15-2.
Yeah, that means we can't lose a game.
We can't. Neither one of us can.
We have to go undefeated for the rest of which is possible. I mean, I think the Cowboys can do it.
I think the Giants are gonna have like 3 losses, or 3 or 4 losses. I think because because the games against you and the 2 games against the Eagles are tough. You know, the game of Thanksgiving.
I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying we're capable of winning every single.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it right here. So y'all just beat the Bears. So you're 6-2 going into the bye. And now it's Packers Vikings. Yeah. Are you splitting those, or are you winning both of them?
Probably. I mean, I think we can beat the Packers. And Packers look like crap right now.
So that's 7-2.
The Vikings, I mean, we always play good against Kirk Cousins. Like, Kirk Cousins does not play well against us. We beat him a lot.
8-2.
But we could lose that game.
It could be so 7-3, 8-2 probably.
Yeah.
And then you're either 7-3.
I think we're not losing on Thanksgiving. We lose too many Thanksgiving games. We're not going to lose again on Thanksgiving.
So you just said we lose too many Thanksgiving games, but we're
not losing again. You're not going to lose again. Not after what happened last Thanksgiving. We're going to remember what happened last Thanksgiving. We're not doing that shit again.
That was a great game, by the way, man. That was a good game. I didn't expect the Cowboys and the Raiders to give me a good game, because one of you would have. I was expecting one of you to like to ruin the game, like either like they would like cause like 4 turnovers and you guys like blow them out, or like you or Dak, somebody gets injured on the Cowboys, or like Dak Prescott has a horrible game or something. But that was a good game. It was good. I think it was OT? Was it OT? I think it was OT.
Yeah, right? It was overtime.
It was nice. Yeah. So but then us,
No, we didn't go the rest.
Oh well, we'll finish the rest. Okay, so either you're 7-3 or 8-2 against us. You think you're gonna beat us? That's fine for you. So either you're 9-2 or you're 8-3 going into week 13, and that's a victory.
But even if we lose just one of those games, like I said, it's. We would have to beat the Eagles. We would have to beat the Eagles.
You would have to beat them at week 16.
Yeah.
You have to beat them week 16 because you want them to have the same record as you.
Yeah.
Because we're predicting them having 2 or 3 losses. You know.
Which and if you have could be us.
Yeah, which one of your losses could be?
If we're tied with them, then we have a better divisional record.
Exactly. But then the thing is, you want us or the Commanders to beat them as well. So you will be actually rooting for us to beat them.
Oh yeah, you know? I'm for the rest of the season. I'll be rooting against them.
Yeah,
no matter who they play.
Yeah, so you would need that, because like we said here, so they're 7-0. They're going to beat the Texans. That's 8-0. Commanders maybe. That's 9-0. Colts, Eagles 10-0. Packers, I think 11-0 personally, and then Titans possible loss. So 11-1 going into December 11th against us, and you either want us to win, you want to be 11-2. Let's say everything breaks your way, Caleb. Everything breaks your way. So they're 11-2 going into Chicago. They beat Chicago. They're 12-2, and then they're 12-2 going into the Eagles, going against the Cowboys game. So they're 12-2. So now let's go to back to you. So you're 6-2 right now. You beat the Packers. You're 7-2. You think you'll beat the Vikings? You're 9-2. You think you beat the Giants? 10-2. You beat the Colts and the
Texans, Jaguars.
the Texans.
I mean, all those three. Just run
So
through them.
hold up, I missed damn it. So 6-2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically what you want is you beat 11-2 and they're 11-2.
Yeah.
Going into your game. And then whoever wins that game.
But I guess at that point we could have a little room for error, and we can drop one game, because even if we were
but here's the thing too.
We can beat them.
Yeah, no, but then then you if you
so we have one we can lose one game.
One game, the Giants game. That's the game.
Okay.
So then you beat them. Either you come out there 12-3, or they're 12-3. Either that's the thing. You're both 12-3, or
both 12-3. That means we're number one.
You're number one. But then here's the thing too. Then you need to win Tennessee and Commanders the next 2 weeks.
Tennessee's gonna be tough. Washington's gonna be tough too.
Yeah. But then you want so either you want to sweep both games, or you want both of them, or you want you to split it and they to split it, because their last 2 games after your game are Saints and Giants. So either you want them to split it and you split it, or they lose both games and you win both games or split it.
Yeah. Well, I just want them to lose the rest of the season, obviously.
Yeah.
But probably not going to happen.
Exactly. So that's where we're at. And let's now look at the Giants. In some perfect world that we're in the mix. So right now we're 6-2 after the Seahawks game. 7-2, 8-2. So we're 8-2 going into the Cowboys game. Let's say we beat you. 9-2, 9-2, and then we go to the Commanders. We win the Commanders. We're 10-2.
If you split, I think
you split the Commanders game.
Yeah, because it's Commanders, Eagles, Commanders.
Yeah, but the problem is we need to beat you, because if we get swept by you, you get top billing in the division. So we need to split with you. So there's that. So we need to win the Thursday game to get any shot at winning the division. Oh my God, us winning the division? What is going on now? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it would be a 3-team race? Who would have thunk it a 3-team race, bro? But seriously, we need to win Thursday. We need to win Thanksgiving. We need to. Yeah, we need to. Because here's the thing: if we lose to you and then we lose to Washington, that's fine. We just have to end up beating Washington on the 18th, or 17th, one of them.
Yeah, but you have to beat the Eagles, obviously.
Yeah, but we have to beat Eagles as well. So
both times you have to beat them both times.
We have to beat them both times. We have to sweep the Eagles. But the problem is, then here's the thing.
And you got the Vikings, and
that's the thing. The Vikings. Here's the thing, bro. The Vikings show up on everyone's schedule, bro.
Yeah.
Did the Vikings show up? The Eagles already beat the Vikings. You're facing the Vikings. When do you face the Vikings? Week 11.
Yeah, in November.
Okay. So yeah. So we basically all face the same teams.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right. So on that note, let's head it all out. Caleb, where can people find you, my man?
You can find me at NFL Caleb 22 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on this channel for I don't know how much longer.
By mid-November, we're transitioning.
Okay. Well, for that time being, I will be on Betting the NFL. Comes out Thursdays with my co-host D Weezy. Trying to make you guys money. I had a great week this week. So if you definitely watch that show if you want to make some money, because I went 4-1 this week. So yeah, give me while I'm hot. Also, you can find my articles that go along with that show on our website at letsgetreadynetwork.com.
All right, yeah, guys. Speaking of Caleb did just bring it up. We have a new sports channel called the Let's Get Ready, the highlights. Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights. We're in the weeks of transitioning over all our sports content onto that channel. By mid-November, everything will be on that channel. Then in mid-November, we'll go live on that channel. So make sure follow us on that channel. We're gonna pin the link in the comments every week because we're just transitioning. We'll have playoff beards, the rally, as well as starting 11. The entire back catalog of videos will be on that channel. And in the coming weeks, Good Friends Better Rivals will also be on that channel, the back catalog, as well as betting the NFL as well. But actually, guys, the channel is live, and we do have a video on there. Last week Thursday, our interview with Jeff Perman was released. We talked about his new book, actually, his new book right here, The Last Folk Hero, The Life and Myth of Bo Jackson. We talked about this book. We talked about his writing process. We talked about Showtime, the book that became Winning Time, which is a show on HBO Max that people probably watched, as well as his transition from Sports Illustrated to writing books and art from articles to books. So it was a great interview. It was about an hour and 2 minutes.
Was a great interview.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback. Make sure to like and subscribe on that new channel, Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights, as well as this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe as well on this channel, because this channel will be our entertainment hub. We're trying to grow this channel in its entertainment lane, and we're trying to grow our sports content in another lane, in the sports lane. Separate them so they can boost up together, because the way the trying to boost up the algorithm, trying to kind of push both of them together so we can rising tides lifts all boats, basically. So thank you so much. I'm Ferris Muthana. You find me at Ferris Muthana. You find me on this channel at Let's Get Ready Network. I'll show up on Tuesday nights, maybe here and there. I may show up on a wrestling show here and there. Definitely be on the sports channel every Monday. Good Friends, Better Rivals. We may not have a set time anymore, but we have a set day. Every Monday, we will be there with your daily dose of rivalry and friendships. Well, rivalries mostly.
Yeah.
Friendship is a strong word. All right. Stay safe, everyone. Be cool and be calm.